Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. In this episode, we're going to start tearing down my Foz engine. Stay tuned. Thanks for tuning, guys. If you haven't yet, please consider hitting that subscribe button and that post notification bell to stay up to date with this rebuild. With that being said, let's get into it. Alright guys, we're going to start to pull down the engine, probably just the manifold, and having a look at the wiring, because I want to take out some of the things that I'm not using. So we'll pull them out of the loom, make it a bit more simple, and do some inspector work here and see where this leak actually is. So you can see I had a leak there, in the middle, and off to the side. So looking at this cross member, the engine mount, and it's run down into the middle and it's stripped. So I think it's safe to say that turbo drain into the head was the cause of both of these. Let's have a look at the engine. So we've got the leaking oil drain, so see that there. We may have a leaking oil feed, but that could have been me just playing with it before with the orientation of the turbos. But I've actually ordered a new one, and it's actually got a -10 male end on that, so I can work out the twin turbo there, and that'll drain back into there instead of having it running down into the sump again. I'll have them both into here. I might use my Y piece there, and that should do it. But yeah, I'm pretty certain that this is the result of both middle and this side is the result of that leaking. I really need to get a new timing cover. So I was just looking at the website where I got my gaskets for my valves, and they're normally pretty good, but I could only get this side, the right hand side cover. Couldn't get this side, but just looking at that, I also need the back side too, so I'll find some way to source that. But back onto this side to find the leak. I think that actually is a valve cover leak. Alright, so yeah, I think the oil leaking is just that press in oil drain, which I'm getting a replacement hopefully this week, and the gaskets on this side, which I've got gaskets, and I've got billet half moons on both sides. So I think that's the leaking done. Let's go back to the old oil in the coolant. It's not much, right? And that happened straight after I played around with my turbo. So maybe while it was out on the table, I got some oil and WD-40 in the water passages of the turbo, because that's not much. If it was something more serious, I'm pretty sure I'd have a lot more. We have a caramel milkshake, or the Subaru shake, whatever you call it. Anyway, I don't think we actually have oil in water or water in oil, but we do have a water leak. So we have a lot going through the exhaust, so we need to find that. It can't be that much condensation that it's smoking that much. Maybe it is the turbo the whole time, but anyway, we're going to pull this down. I just want to get some big power out of this. I'm going to actually check the bearings, so we are going to do a full tear down and rebuild, make sure everything's good. Here we go, you can see the crack in the line there. It's something you don't want, so yeah, we've got to fix that. So this episode we'll just get this top section of the manifold off, and I'll start playing around with some of the wiring, tracing it back and pulling it out to lighten that and clean it up a bit. So order some tape so I can wrap it as well, make it look a lot neater. I'll probably get this bracket off too and get all this off, and I'll clean up this whole area. We won't be having a pipe coming through here anymore, so that'd be good. We'll be painting that tank. Let's get a new radiator or new cap. Would you call that a radiator cap still? Even though it's on the reservoir. Anyway, let's take off the fuel pressure regulator. We may still have some fuel in here. It won't be pressurized though. But yeah, we'll unbolt that. You might be able to see some markings, so I'm actually going to shave them down as well. So I know this is going to be a big job doing the wiring, but as Al says from the skid factory, they just go somewhere. They go from one point to another. That is it. As long as you trace it back properly, should be all good. So yeah, let's get that off, get the fuel lines off, and we'll disconnect the wiring here so we can get the top section of the manifold off. Oh, there goes that fuel pressure regulator. Goodbye. Alright, so yeah, I definitely changed the fueling around a lot here. So we've got a couple of T's in there, but yeah, it's all even. But all this hose line looks like it's not too good. Nearly got myself with fuel. Anyway, I'll undo that one there, and that's the in. It goes around to this side and it goes in there. Well, actually it goes onto the hard line. So I measured all the hard lines as well, made sure it was all even, but that doesn't matter anymore. That's going away. So just trying to get this one off, and didn't realize that there was a fuel line down here, and looks like I just pissed myself. So there's a bit of fuel still in the lines, in the lower line, so looks like we're getting a free engine wash. So, oh, also at work we've got a parts cleaner, like a big swirly dishwasher thing, so we can put the parts in that, clean them up, clean them out, and I might paint. What do you guys think? Should I paint it? I'm thinking just black. Paint it black. Screw painting the manifold, you know, yeah, wrinkle red to make it look like an STI. It's not an STI, but hopefully it's going to beat some. Alright, got the reservoir tank off. So put that aside, and I just put the bolts back in. so we know not to take them off. So need to get that off is I need to get to this section here, because we have the fuel line that goes over and goes into the adapter that I put in for the fuel pressure regulator. So yeah, I'll get that one off, and that will allow me to take the top of the manifold off. It should, after getting that earth off. Alright, so I got that fuel line off, had a bit of fuel in that line, so we'll drop some there. I can't get this one off because it's underneath, so I really wanted to get to it to take the AC off, but I'm taking the manifold off so I can get to it there, so that's all good. And all this stuff's going to come off anyway, but tonight I want to focus on getting the fuel lines off and having to play around with the wiring, getting that sorted, getting a few things out like this stuff here. Oh boys, just got the bracket off that's over here that holds, is the bottom mounting bit for the tank there, the expansion tank, or reservoir, coolant reservoir. Do you think I should put this back on? I might leave the bracket off, because I was planning on cleaning up this wiring that's not being used. I've got not many wires here. I want to figure out what they are for. Might even be able to get rid of this connector, I don't know, but we'll keep looking and see what the go is. Alright, so now to get these 10 mils off, to get the top section of the manifold off. Oh, just saw another thing. This water pipe here, and that water pipe there. All good. So, alright guys, let's look down into the TGVs. So pretty much all I've done is actually take out the butterfly flap there, and yeah, so still its guts are in there, so all this is still there, so we gotta sort that out. Alright, time, I'll get this fuel line off, and we'll start to look at the wiring. So by the looks of it, I'm gonna have to pull these off anyway, so might as well do that. Right, we'll get the compressor, the alternator, and the pump, power steering pump off. Right boys, don't forget to bag and tag your bolts so you don't forget where they go. Alright boys, so I'm going to start tagging some of the wires that I'm not familiar with. I call this stuff, I know that goes up to the throttle body. There's a couple of little things that I'm not too sure of, so I'll just write them down, and yeah, we'll probably split all this out and trace the wires back and start pulling some of the wires out. Alright guys, so I'm actually going around and actually tagging all of the connectors that I'm still going to be using. So if they've got a tag on them, they stay. So I'll keep going a couple more, and yeah. Alright boys, been playing with the spaghetti. I've got a couple of connectors out, or three actually. So this one, and the one that was on here, so ran all the way back through. So we're thinning it out. As you can see, I've been chopping them with a little bit of a piggy tail there, just in case. But yeah, where it branches off, I have been cable tying it, so I know That goes off to that way, and that branches off that way, and here as well. So once I've pulled the other one out, I'll go along and go, alright, that comes out there, I'll cable tie there, so we can get all the lengths right. So pretty much I'm just going to be copying this loom, and hopefully it should be pretty good. There's the connector over here. Might see if I can somehow get it all over that side. Yeah, because we have taken a few off here, so we might be able to run the wires over this side, depending on what they are, and obviously depending on the loom over this side and where it goes. So yeah, getting there. This actually isn't as bad as everybody thinks it is. It is pretty funny how Subaru have joined powers. It's like goopy, gummy stuff in there. It's really sticky. I was looking for like a little connector or something, but nope. It could be in there, and then it's insulated and then in tape, but I'm not game to get in there. Haha! Now I know what that connector is. What does it look like? Crank sensor, cam sensor, and knock sensor. That's what that connector's for. Didn't know that, now I do. So yeah, cool, awesome. Alright boys, I think that's me done for tonight. I've done all the wiring. I've got the 4 plugs that I wanted to get out of the loom. And yeah, I'll learn a bit tonight on the wiring. This is an earth for all the sensors, the shielded sensors, the knock, cam and crank, and all the other ones are over that side. So there must be a reason for that. So yeah, so might take the wiring loom off, and tomorrow or another episode I'll do a leak down test, see if all the valves are good. I've got the kit down there, so we're just going to get the spark plugs out and just rotate it to see where we're at. I'll probably get the covers off too, have a look at the cams, or the cam gears should I say. Yeah, we'll do a leak down test in the next episode. So guys, I'm going to leave this episode here. If you enjoyed this episode, give it a thumbs up. And if you're pretty keen on what's going to be happening with this engine, make sure to hit that subscribe button and the post notification bell. Thanks for watching guys, and I'll catch you in the next episode. Bye.